Japan once held an overwhelming presence in the global semiconductor market. Especially in the memory chip sector, Japanese companies led the world. There was a time when many countries built their industrial strategies around Japan's technology and manufacturing power, but today the center of the semiconductor industry is changing dramatically. As the AI era begins, the competition is no longer just about making chips. It is about building faster, smaller, and more efficient memory technologies. And at the center of this shift are Korean companies such as Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix. This video is not about criticizing any country or declaring a simple winner or loser. Instead, we are going to ask one important question. Why have memory chips become so important in the AI era? And why have Korean companies gained such a strong position in this race? Show a massive AI server room. Blue light flows across a data center filled with rows of servers. In the past, when people talked about semiconductor competition, most attention was focused on CPUs and system chips. The key question was, who could calculate faster? And who could design more complex circuits? But the AI era has changed the game. AI works by reading, storing, and retrieving massive amounts of data. In generative AI, autonomous driving, cloud computing, and large-scale data centers, the ability to move data quickly has become just as important as computing power itself. This is where high-performance memory comes in. To put it simply, if AI chips are the brain, memory chips are the pathway that allows the brain to access information quickly. Even the most powerful brain cannot perform well if it has to wait too long for the information it needs. That is why, in the AI era, the spotlight is not only on GPUs. DRAM, HBM, and other high-bandwidth memory technologies are also becoming central to the future of AI. If we look back at semiconductor history, Japan was never a weak player. In the 1980s and early 1990s, Japanese companies were extremely competitive in the memory semiconductor market. Precision manufacturing, quality control, materials and equipment technology. Japan was one of the most important pillars of the global semiconductor industry. Even today, Japan remains strong in semiconductor materials and equipment. To manufacture semiconductors, companies need wafers, photoresists, specialty gases, precision equipment, and many other advanced technologies. In many of these areas, Japanese companies still play a critical role in the global supply chain. But when it comes to finished memory chips, the industry has changed. Korean companies grew rapidly through aggressive investment and large-scale manufacturing experience. As a result, the center of the memory semiconductor market gradually shifted toward Korea. The important point is this. This is not simply a story about one country winning and another country losing. The semiconductor industry is built over decades. It requires investment, technology, talent, production experience, and the right market timing. So the current situation did not happen overnight. It is the result of long-term differences in industrial strategy. There are three major reasons why Korean companies became powerful in the memory semiconductor market. The first reason is long-term investment. Semiconductors are not an industry where results come immediately. After one investment, they require massive factory investments, research and development, skilled engineers, and stable production lines. This is especially true for DRAM and NAND flash memory. Developing the technology is not enough. Companies must produce high-quality chips consistently, at scale, and with low defect rates. Korean companies have focused on this field for a long time. The second reason is advanced process technology. The smaller semiconductors become, the more data they can process, and the better their power efficiency can become. But making chips smaller is not as simple as shrinking a circuit. As the process becomes more advanced, problems such as heat, power consumption, signal interference, and production yield become much more difficult. That is why 10-nanometer class DRAM technology is not just a number. It is a symbol of a company's overall semiconductor capability. The third reason is the timing of the AI market. As the AI industry grew, demand for high-performance memory increased rapidly. In particular, high-bandwidth memory, or HBM, has become a crucial component for AI servers. At this exact moment, Korean companies already had a strong foundation in memory semiconductors. That foundation matched perfectly with the rise of the AI era. And that is why the world is paying attention to Korean memory companies again. The important point in recent reports is not a sensational story about one company being ahead of another. The real point is that The structure of global semiconductor competition is changing again. In the AI era, memory chips are becoming more important than ever. In the past, memory was sometimes viewed as a supporting component. But now, memory is becoming a key part that can determine the performance of entire AI systems. Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix hold important positions in this shift. Meanwhile, Japan remains strong in semiconductor materials and equipment. But in the advanced finished memory chip market, it is now in the position of a challenger. Japan is also pushing several projects to revive its semiconductor industry. However, advanced semiconductors are extremely difficult to catch up in over a short period of time. It is not only about developing technology. Companies also need mass production experience, customer trust, stable yields, and strong supply chain management. That is what makes the semiconductor industry so difficult. For American viewers, this story is not just about competition. Between Asian countries, the United States is at the center of the AI semiconductor ecosystem, with companies such as NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, and Micron. But even the most advanced AI chips made by American companies cannot reach their full potential without high-performance memory. In other words, the AI semiconductor supply chain is not something one country can dominate alone. The United States is strong in chip design and platforms. Korea is strong in memory chip production. Japan is strong in materials and equipment. Taiwan plays a critical role in advanced foundry manufacturing. In the end, the AI semiconductor industry is a complex structure, where Korea, the United States, Japan, and Taiwan compete with each other, while also depending on each other. The key message is this: the winner of the AI era may not be one single company or one single country. It may be the countries and companies that can build the strongest supply chain together. For Japanese viewers, this topic may feel sensitive. That is why the language should be careful and respectful. This story does not mean that Japan is finished. In fact, it also shows that Japan still has an important technological foundation. Japan remains strong in materials, equipment, and precision manufacturing. However, in the finished memory chip market, Korean companies currently hold a stronger position. For Japan to rise again as a major semiconductor power, technology development alone will not be enough. It will require long-term investment, talent development, production experience, cooperation with global customers, and a strategy that responds quickly to market changes. So when we look at the future of Japan's semiconductor industry, the important question is this: can Japan recreate its past glory? Or will Japan strengthen a new role based on its advantages in materials, equipment, and next-generation technologies? This is not only a question for Japan. It is an issue the entire global semiconductor industry will be watching. There are 3 key points to watch from here. First, will demand for AI memory continue to grow? If investment in AI servers and data centers continues to expand, demand for high-performance memory is likely to grow as well. Second, the competition between Samsung and SK Hynix. Even though both are strong Korean companies, their strategies are not identical. In the HBM market, SK Hynix has received strong recognition, while Samsung is also moving to strengthen its competitiveness. Third, Japan's semiconductor revival strategy. Will Japan regain a strong position in the finished memory chip market? Or will it strengthen its role in materials, equipment, and next-generation technologies? These 3 points will be important variables that shape the future of the AI semiconductor market. This issue is not simply about the technology gap between Samsung Electronics and Japanese companies. The bigger trend is this: as the AI era begins, memory semiconductors are once again moving to the center of global industry. Memory chips were once seen mainly as components for storing data, but now they are becoming strategic assets that can determine AI, performance, and national competitiveness. Korean companies have focused on memory semiconductors for many years. As a result, they now hold an important position in the AI era. Japan has a powerful semiconductor history and still plays a major role in materials and equipment. The United States leads the world in AI chip design and platforms. Taiwan plays a key role in advanced foundry manufacturing. In the end, this competition is not simply about victory or defeat. The AI semiconductor race is about how each country's strengths connect and who can adapt faster to a changing world. And right now, the world is standing in the middle of that massive transformation. What do you think? Can Japan rise again as a global semiconductor power? Or will Korean companies continue to lead the AI memory era for years to come? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.